Hi, this is Shawnee Lavender. Today I'd like to share with you some thoughts for how you and your partner, whether it's your spouse or your boyfriend or girlfriend, how you can parent together more smoothly. And this message is directed more to the parent whose primary role is to do most of the parenting. So you might be the stay-at-home parent who's working in the home, or you might just be doing more of the child care responsibilities. However you frame it in your family, I'm really talking to you a little bit more. Here's one of the things that I notice is that when we are the primary caregiver with our child or our children, we get a lot of experience. We have a lot of time with our children. We have a lot of ideas about how to do things, what's working or what's not at a given phase of our child's life. And so it can really be easy to hamper our co-parent who has less experience. And we're doing it inadvertently, and actually we're doing it from a good intention most often, but it still doesn't work. So let me give you a couple of examples and then explain why. So here's an example from my own life. Quite some time back, I was the primary caregiver, and one afternoon my husband was supporting my daughter in taking her bath, getting all clean and getting dried and getting dressed for bed. And so I could hear him. I was just a couple of rooms over, and I could hear him and both of them talking. And at one point I heard him say something to the effect of, "Well, I'll need to find your towel." Now, right away, part of me wanted to yell from the room I was in, "It's on the back of the bathroom door," because I knew where it was. That's where I hung it. That's where we hung it. But I stopped myself because I realized, thankfully, in that moment that he could find the towel, first of all. And if he couldn't find that towel, he could find another towel. He didn't need me to interject. That was something he could do on his own. And so that's an example of one way. I was just thinking, oh, I'll be helpful. It's on the back of the door, honey. I'll holler that to you. But in doing that, I would have been robbing him of the opportunity to be the parent in that moment, to figure things out, to show my daughter that he's perfectly capable, and to show me, of course, I know it, but again, sometimes when you're the main parenting person, you sometimes doubt your spouse. Admit it, you do it. But mainly it was about he and my daughter having this relationship where they're figuring things out. They're doing things together. They're hitting bumps, just like my daughter and I hit bumps. They're having successes, just like we have successes. And when you do refrain from interjecting, what you're doing besides helping them cultivate their own relationship, you're really giving your spouse that opportunity to increase their confidence and their sense of competence as a parent. Because as you can probably guess, if the roles are reversed, or if you've come in sometimes as the less experienced person in a situation, you can have some doubts and you can think, I don't know what I'm doing and how am I going to do it, or am I going to do it well or do it well enough? And so you really are seeking a sense of confidence and competence. And so even if your spouse thinks, oh, I'm being helpful and I'll just do this little thing and tell them about this or interject, it really can actually come across more as not really manipulative, but just a sense of interference that's not really necessary. You know, if your spouse is really struggling or says, hey, can you help me with this? Or I can't find the towels, then sure, jump in there, offer support. But really, this is an invitation to pause and back up a bit if you're that primary parent, to give that space to your partner to be their own parent, to develop that relationship with your child so that they have that bond. Even if it's less amount of time that they spend together, you really want them to feel that solid connection and that sense of, hey, we can figure it out. We're a team. We got this. We don't need mom or we don't need dad, because there's going to be times when you're not going to be around. You know, whether it's you're at work or you're at an exercise class or you're taking a nap or you're with another one of your children, you want your spouse and that other child to really have that sense of, we can get through this, we can do it, and we're going to do fine. If there's something you want to talk with your spouse about afterwards, or something that you think didn't work well, feel free to talk with them about that. There's some ways that you can do that that's going to be easier for them to hear, but I'm not talking about that in this video. But really the bottom line is to give that space to your partner so that they can become the parent that they want to be in their own way and bring their own gifts to the parenting experience, because they've got them. No matter who they are, they've got their own gifts that they're able to bring to your relationship with your child. And so this is my invitation to you today to do that, just to back up a little bit and give them space. As always, I welcome comments and questions. If you have further something that you want to talk about regarding this video, just post a comment and I'll be glad to respond. Thanks so much, and wishing you a joyful parenting journey.